For a long time, I believed my marriage was the one part of my life that was solid beyond doubt. Jessica and I had created everything together from nothing. We were two struggling college students who genuinely believed that love, effort, and countless late-night pizza deliveries could overcome anything. My attention was fixed entirely on building a future with her. What I failed to see was that she had already begun trying out for a future that no longer included me. Nothing forces clarity faster than shame, especially when it's delivered by the very people who are meant to stand beside you. Jessica's company hosted a party at an upscale hotel downtown. It was the type of place where men with flawless smiles talked about investments while silently measuring one another by their watches. I hadn't even planned on attending. Jessica told me it would be dull and unnecessary. That changed when one of her co-workers accidentally sent me a message meant for someone else. One that hinted there was something I needed to witness firsthand. So I went. My suit was sharp, my posture confident, and my intentions simple: to support my wife. Her boss noticed me immediately. Nathan Reed. He smiled in a way that wasn't friendly. "Well, look who it is," he said loudly. "The architect who designed—" What was it again? Shopping centers. Laughter rippled through the room. Jessica said nothing. Not a single word in my defense. Instead, she flushed, but not from embarrassment. It was the kind of smile that comes from being noticed by someone you admire, and it was painfully clear she admired him far more than me. Nathan slapped my shoulder as if I were beneath him. "Relax," he said. "Some guys create skyscrapers, others just put them together." More laughter followed. Jessica refused to meet my eyes. That silence hurt more deeply than any insult he could have thrown my way. That night, as I watched them whisper, laugh, and drift into private corners together, something inside me hardened. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to break down. I was going to uncover the truth, every piece of it, and reclaim what had been taken from me. Her long hours at work, the sudden wardrobe changes, the way her phone never left her hand, all of it finally aligned. I reached out to Miguel, a former college friend who now worked as a private investigator. "What are you looking for?" he asked. My answer was simple: everything. And that's exactly what he gave me. Jessica and Nathan weren't just involved romantically. They were sharing a rented apartment. Company money funded their trips. They were plotting to leave the firm and launch their own business using stolen ideas and client data. They were constructing a future together on top of the ruins of my life. But they made a fatal miscalculation. They assumed I wouldn't fight back. While Jessica stayed late at work, I was quietly preparing. Every message, every image, every bank record, receipt, and hotel bill. I organized everything with precision. Nothing questionable, nothing deniable. Then I contacted the one person Nathan had hurt even more than me, his wife, Dr. Sarah Reed, who was a highly respected surgeon, steady, sharp-minded, and impossible to intimidate. When I showed her the evidence, she didn't cry or raise her voice. She reviewed it calmly and said only one thing: "Let's destroy them." A few weeks later, the company held its annual gala. Jessica insisted that I attend. "It would look strange if you didn't," she said. What she really meant was that my absence would raise suspicion. I smiled and agreed. I wouldn't miss it. The event was breathtaking. Floor-to-ceiling glass revealed the city's skyline. Chandeliers spilt light like flowing water, and Jessica looked radiant. Nathan carried himself like a man about to be honored. Neither of them realized the night wasn't meant to reward them. It was meant to end them. Jessica stepped onto the stage to present an award. Pride shone on her face. "This year's Creative Excellence Award goes to the individual whose vision and leadership." That was when I pressed the button in my pocket. The massive screen behind her changed instantly. Her face filled it, but not in a polished corporate photo. Images appeared of her and Nathan holding hands, kissing in a parking garage, entering their hidden apartment together. Gasps filled the room. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Jessica froze. Nathan's face drained of color. I walked onto the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen," I said evenly, "tonight is about teamwork. So let's take a closer look at how closely these two have been working together." Slide after slide followed. Emails, forged expense claims, stolen files, messages mocking their spouses. Nathan charged toward me, but security stopped him immediately. Then Sarah stood. "For anyone questioning the legitimacy of this," she said calmly, "the documentation has already been submitted to legal counsel and the board of directors. Every detail is verified." The room erupted. By the following Monday, everything had collapsed. Nathan was terminated. Jessica was dismissed. Both were blacklisted across the industry. Their secret startup was finished before it ever launched. Nathan lost his marriage, access to his children, and was buried under debt. Jessica ended up in a cramped apartment, working a low-level job she once would have mocked. And me, I flourished. I joined a leading architecture firm. I worked on major developments. I rediscovered who I was without her shadow. I had built something all alone. Months later, Jessica appeared at my office. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "I'm sorry I lost everything." I looked at her without anger. "No," I said. "You gave everything up. That's not the same thing. People think revenge means destroying those who hurt you. They're wrong. Real revenge is rebuilding yourself so completely that their existence no longer matters. They didn't break me, they exposed me. And the man I became afterward cannot be shaken. They didn't ruin my life. They cleared the space for a better one."